So, just while I'm making saw videos, thought I'd share my 3 circular saws. So, this one, Black & Decker, 7358. It's what, 10 amps, made in USA. Not one of the heavy duty ones. I think the Sawcat was the heavy duty one. This is plastic. I've used it a ton. Gone burned through a few blades with this. There actually has a little crack right there. All right. Good saw. Framed up a lot with it. Did my flooring in my bathroom and just a lot of plywood type stuff with it. It was my uncle's. I probably came from Spags. He passed away. I got it. Probably late 80s, early 90s. I don't know when Black & Decker changed. Started making stuff in China. But back then they weren't. This one's a little older. It's got the older logo. This saw, pretty cool. As you can see, it's rough looking, but I can assure you it does run. Value Plus. This is 9 amps. The other one was 10. This one's 7390. What was this one? 7358. So the serial number or the model numbers are close. Obviously, this one's orange. This one doesn't have a trigger lock, which is nice. This one does, and it works, unfortunately. This one I was doing a cleanup. One of my wife's friends, a real estate agent, and it was a good sized job. Filled the back of this truck, and this was in the weeds along with some other stuff. I took it, thought about scrapping it, and said, what the heck, I'll take it apart. So pulled the motor out, cleaned up the armature, cleaned up all the windings a little bit. There's a bushing in there. Clean that up, put some grease on that, and lo and behold, fired up and works great. Brushes were good. Does need a new cord. Mosey's took a chunk out of it somewhere. Right there. There's a long carriage bolt that goes in here somewhere. Maybe on this side, I can't remember where. Took it out, it was all rusted. I gotta replace that. This one's gonna get a masonry bit. Masonry blade. The shoe's kind of yucky. I mean, you could clean it up, it's steel, but I figure I could use that, masonry jobs. And last but not least, this is creme de la creme right here. Old Sears Craftsman Industrial. 13 amp. This is what you guys on the West Coast used. Don't let the Craftsman name fool you. This is the real deal. All magnesium. Heavy. You can use this thing with one hand. It won't kick. It's so heavy. It's awesome. I used it to rip some boards and cut my planks for that. All oak, 5-quarter oak. And this thing didn't miss a beat. I love it. Being right-handed as well, your sight line is much better with the sidewinders. These things, it's all magnesium. All that, the handle, this is plastic, but it's probably like a Bakelite, very heavy. The cord's huge. These are great. People love these. Pretty sure this is basically a skill saw that says Craftsman on it. By skill saw, I mean the brand skill saw, not just the generic term. A lot of people call all these skill saws. Really, really well made. As far as years, mid-late 80s, I think. My boss at work has the identical one. He got it for his 18th birthday in 84, and it's identical to this one. I'll have to look at the part number, and he's a carpenter electrician. It's had a hard life, and it hasn't missed a beat. I wouldn't buy a new circular saw. I don't use them that much, but when I do, much like everything else I have, I want American or Japanese minimum. Taiwan. These are actually all made in USA. Forgive the load of shit in the back. My neighbor says, "Oh, I got a sheet of plywood. Can you get rid of that?" Sure. Well, the plywood grew. So, yeah, I told them how much to get rid of the plywood, which was very little, and lo and behold, they pushed the goalposts on me. Sneaky. Of course, I got paid already. Oh well. Anyway, I like all of these saws a lot. That one's got a ton of use by me. I've used that a few times and I love it. And a little circular saw history for you. Just about all 80s. That one may be 70s. I'd have to look it up. I'm not sure. But, yep. They're good ones.